George Davey is a super welterweight boxer with an impressive 8-1-1 record. On August the 11th, Davey returns to action in Wetherby. Here, we chat with the Yorkshire-based boxer ahead of his latest challenge. I am joined by George Davey, looking ahead to your big fight on August the 11th. What are your thoughts on the fight, just generally speaking? Is this obviously for you about getting back to winning ways and putting on a show?
Getting back to winning ways, shake off the cobwebs, and then hopefully, just get the ball rolling again and keep active.
How do you look back on obviously on your last fight against Joshua Frankham, and how much do you think you've learned from that?
It was a close fight. Obviously he edged it and got fight of the night, and it was a great experience to have been a part of that whole show. I'd like to say I learned from each fight with experience and handling nerves and just general boxing stuff, to be fair. But I'd say I learn in the gym, and with learning in the gym, I put it all together in each fight.
And what's sort of your plan for the second half of 2024? Because you mentioned there before that you've been out for quite a few months now. What would you like to do in the second half of this year?
We're aiming for titles. So get this fight done and dusted, and then who knows? There could be an opportunity for a title, and then if not, the one after that. But this year, we want a title.
You got to aim high, right? You got to aim high. That's what we're talking about.
We want a title, and we will get a title. It's just boxing. You got to be patient. Put the work in, and your time will come.
I really wanted to ask you about you because obviously you work with Henry Wharton. What's it like having like a legend like that in by your side? In training and in the ring when you're fighting in your corner. What's it like?
Obviously, I spend every day with Henry, and I don't take it for granted. His knowledge is out of this world. Like I'll sit there and I could listen to him for hours. He goes in depth, and obviously, we gel very well together. And in the ring, when I'm boxing, I just listen to his instructions, and whatever he says, I'll trust. I'll go with it. I mean, he's a hell of a guy as well. He makes the gym. It's like a home with him there. We have a laugh. We get down to business. It's a good combination.
I bet he's got some good stories, right?
There's a lot of stories, yeah. I won't say them.
No, of course. Does he mention? Does he talk about his fights? Because he's been involved in some classics with Nigel Benn and Chris Eubanks, and some of the biggest names in British boxing. Does he reminisce a lot?
Sometimes like we spend a lot of time on the road together, going sparring, whether it's up to Newcastle or I don't know, around the corner to Leeds. We spend quite a bit of time in the car, and obviously you just discuss. There's a bit of reminiscing there, and obviously it's still interesting. Even if I've heard the story a few times, I still find it interesting. How his experience was. Fighting Ben, what he should have done different. I don't know, just all his thoughts on the process. It's really interesting.
Obviously, George, you're still a young man. I'm just wondering, you look at your career. How far do you think you can go? What are your dreams and aspirations in the sport of boxing?
Well, there's only one answer to that. World champion, eh?
Nice and simple,
world champion would be nice. Just realistically, I want to win belts. British title, European title, and just keep aiming high. And I want to come out of boxing knowing I've given it my all.
Obviously, there are very few harder sports in the world than boxing. So, what motivates you every morning to go up? You're obviously working as well. You're working, you're training. What gets you up in the morning? What motivates you? Is it to make a bit of money? Is it to create a legacy? What is it that drives you?
Every day there's different motivations. Some days maybe more money orientated, but like the main drive, the main focus, I want to win fights. I want to fight the best. I want to be on the big stage. I want to win fights. I want to be in entertaining fights. I like to go in there. I like to hit and then not get hit. I like to put on a show. Just all them aspects, pretty much.
You told me before we started that you're obviously working as well. Could you tell us about working and balancing that with training and being a professional boxer? Because it's not easy, is it?
No, it's not easy. I'm in a very fortunate position where my sponsors look after me. So a big shout out to them, of course. They help me with having been able to work part time, and then of course I still have to work, earn a living, and so I do a bit of that. I mean, it keeps me busy. It's good to learn a craft and not spend too much time in the gym, because there's also an element of burning out. And Henry always tells me to do some work in the meantime. And then obviously when I've got a fight day locked in, I slowly cut work down and just focus more on the boxing. But yeah, I've got a good balance going.
Obviously, the Olympic Games, the opening ceremony starts on Friday. I was just wondering, did you ever have any aspirations of the Olympics before you turned professional?
When I was a teenager, yeah, it would have been very nice. And then just obviously it never planned out. The opportunity, yeah, it never planned out. Obviously, it would have been a dream to do the Olympics. Get the little Olympic tattoo on you as well from competing. But respect to everyone doing it. I'll be tuning in and watching, definitely.
If you don't mind me asking, I've noticed on your Insta it says York/Lanzarote. Can I ask about what's the link with Lanzarote?
I was brought up in Lanzarote. I was born in York, brought up in Lanzarote. From the age of 8 months to 17, I moved. At the age of 17, I moved back to York, and my parents still live there to this day with my brother. So yeah, I class myself as half Spanish, half English.
Do you speak Spanish?
See.
Wow. I just that really interests me. Why decide to swap Spain for England? Because tell you what, Lanzarote is not a bad spot, is it?
No, training out there is unreal. You've got the sun, you've got hills. It's quite a windy island as well, so it all aids to your training, and it's the lifestyle's good. It's chill. That you got a diverse group of people, so you got open communities there. Different cultures, but obviously the boxing scene isn't very big out there. So as an amateur, I'd maybe box twice a year if I was lucky on good shows, but you're not gaining any experience boxing twice a year. So I needed to be in a gym with other amateurs where we can all challenge each other, push each other, and then obviously get fights. So yeah, I made my dad told me, to be fair, he said, if you want to make it in boxing, you have to move to England, pretty much. And we made the decision to move to England, and I moved in with my gran, and then joined Henry's gym, and here we are.
That's really interesting story, to be fair. That's really, really cool. One last thing about your fight. Do you have any message for any fans who haven't seen you perform yet? What is your style? What can fans expect when they see you in the ring?
I'd like to say I'm a very elusive boxer. I appreciate the art of hitting and not getting hit. I like to practice that. Henry still, teaches me different moves on how not to get hit, and I'd say I'm very elusive, but we're working on my inside game now. Fighting, pushing back, but I'm still learning. But yeah, if fans were to watch me, I think they'd think elusive.
And lastly, George, when I chat to fighters, I normally ask about the big event at the weekend, which this weekend is Chisora, Joyce. Do you have any thoughts on that fight, and who do you think might come out on top?
I think Joyce should win this one, to be fair. By stoppage, yeah, I don't know, because Del Boy's quite a tough cookie, isn't he? Really, but Joyce should win. Realistically, I'm looking forward to Baluta and McCann, to be fair. Revenge or repeat.
Cracking fight.
Very good fight.
I'm Polish, so we have got a Polish guy on the card. Moses Itama is taking on Mariusz Wach, big heavyweight clash. So we'll see how that goes down. But yeah, it should be a good
so you'll be rooting for the other guy then.
I don't know. I like Moses Itama as well. He's a big guy.
He's good. He's fast. He's very fast.